Hi guys, this is Anna with Passions of Paper. I am going to show off today the biggest, chunkiest, normal sized journal I've ever made. So this is not a giant journal, just so chunky, so many pages. As you can see there, it's huge. This is almost 700 pages, but there are also some removable mini journals, full-size mini journals that are another 40 pages. So all in all, it's like 730 pages of writing space in this journal. We have 9 signatures in here, so it's not these ginormous signatures. They're still my normal size signatures. It works really well. It is also heavily decorated, so it's a little bit gator mouth and stuff. On this cover here, we've got a few layers. We've got this the eyelash yarn sticking out behind this, and it says Secret Forest. I fussy cut this little fairy lady, and then I popped her on several layers of a file folder to make her stick out from the waterfall, and then I also left her head detached. So you could always like stick something in there if you wanted to. I just wanted to kind of give her a little bit more of a 3D look. Hopefully you can see that, to make it really look like she's in the foreground of that waterfall there. This tassel is the biggest tassel I have ever made. I think so, anyways. We've got several strands of these beads and just so many different fibers going on there. It's super thick and plush, and it is removable. Then the cover itself is it's got a paper bag on the inside and several layers of the canvas material. I dyed this mesh stuff and put that on the whole entire outside of the cover, and then I dyed some of this burlap as well. We've got the closure ribbon here, and then I did some of the ivy vine on top of that. So we've got all those layers going on. This journal measures 10 inches tall, not including the leaves sticking out, and 6.5 inches wide. And then it has a 5-inch spine. Massive spine. Alright, and then for the inside here, we've got lots of leaves sticking out from the Secret Forest. And on the inside, we've got another layer of the canvas. And then this greenish, whitish fabric here for the pockets. There's a pocket on the front, pocket on the back. And in each one, we've got one of these mini journals that are full-sized with lots of extra writing space. You can easily tuck these in your purse or backpack and go hiking or camping and still be able to journal. So I just want to real quick show off both of those. We've got these little charms here. You can use those like a bookmark. They're right in the center. You can either have them dangling down, or if you want to save your place, you just pull them up and tuck them in. But I kind of like them just hanging out the top there so that when they're in the pockets you can still see them. So let me see if I'm in frame. Getting a little closer. This is the beautiful front page, the cover page of the first signature. Love how pretty that is. This is a story journal. This is the story. This journal belonged to a scientist. Let me just get something real quick. Sorry about that, I had to grab my notes. So this journal belonged to a botanist from the 1800s. Basically, 5 scientists were hired to explore the secret forest that was discovered. There was an entrance to it from a cave, and so they hired a botanist, an archaeologist, an alchemist, a biologist and a dendrologist, and you'll see some information on those things throughout the journal. So this is the Botanist journal. So she has samples of stuff that she's been collecting from the secret forest, and then she did accidentally get an ink blot on there because, like I said, it's the 1800s, so she did use one of those the ink wells and the pens and stuff, so that was how she wrote. And it's kind of hard to do all that out in the forest, so we've got a lot of burnt papers in here, lots of digitals. I print on 24 pound, 28 pound, 90 pound papers. I also print on newsprint paper for a nice creaminess. We've got magazine pages and book pages galore in this. And inside of these magazine pages, I sewed them together and made a pockets. And inside of that, we've got this envelope. This is a top secret mission, so this information was not allowed to be shared with any family members or friends. And inside this envelope, we have the information of the other 4 members of the team. We've got the dendrologist, Dr. Mary Thompson, and her husband, the archaeologist, Dr. William Thompson. And here we have the biologist, Dr. Elizabeth Jones. And here we have the alchemist, Dr. Frederick Williams. So that is her team information that she was given. And she just keeps that in here. Lots of plant information all throughout from these real-life nature journals. So there are fairies because there has been some sightings and evidence, just some sightings of fairies, and they are trying to collect evidence of these, anything that's fantasy in this journal, what was assumed to be fantasy. As you can see, we've got a nice decorated pocket here, and I did some stamping and some stenciling on this burnt paper. Here is the hole in the cave that is leading to this secret forest. So that is what the scientists climbed through. I tried to set up this journal so it started off mostly scientific in the beginning, and then as it goes through, basically the longer these scientists are in this forest, the more comfortable these fantastical creatures are with being seen. So there's more and more evidence as you go through this journal of these fantastical creatures. And now here we got another one of those pockets, and this is her passport because this was in another country that she had to get her passport. And here you can see the year that she got it. And this is the botanist, so that's all her information. And then, of course, there's actually blank pages in here, so there's also room in there for journaling. Or you're adding samples of your own nature walks or whatever you'd like to do. And these are like pages from an actual plant book, and this book is like teaching you how to nature journal, how to draw and stuff. So of course there's only a few pages from that book in there, so it's not going to teach you everything, but those are fun to read. And we've got this little specimen sample here and just a journaling card. And here is a picture of a woman who's doing her own little nature journaling. Here we've got a tag. Everything was backed with the exception of these photos. All the journaling cards and tags are always going to be backed so that they're not just boring white. Fun for writing little snippets or to-do lists on. And then we've got these little photos that were taken and added throughout the journal of this secret forest. This is their little camp setup here, one part of it. As always, I will have the links in the description box below for all the digitals that I have used, so if there's anything in here that you really love, please check out those links. And then if you are actually interested in purchasing this, the link to my Etsy shop will also be in the description box below. So just use that link and it'll take you straight to my shop. And if this journal's still available, you'll see it. I did a lot of leaves. I did them on the sides here and on the tops. Got a little flip out there. Couple more journaling tags and another picture. Polaroid picture here. Love the Polaroids. I actually printed them on photo paper, which is why the backs are white, but they feel like actual, pretty close to real Polaroids, so it's a lot of fun. Did a lot of different dyeing in this journal. All the pages, all the plain papers have been dyed, coffee dyed. And then all the coffee dyed pages were burnt as well. But I've also got like this green dyed paper. This is from another nature journal. That's trying to also teach you how to journal out in nature. Beautiful tree that they found in this forest. It's kind of, if you notice, it's not just a regular tree, it's kind of looking more fantasy. So they're starting to get a little closer to, they're starting to get more evidence of these fairies, basically. And here we've got a sample that was collected by the Botanist. We've got these fun little leaves that I sprayed with some ink. And then these are dried flower petals from a ginormous flower that pops up in my backyard every year. But for the story's sake, the Botanist believes that these are the sheddings of fairy wings. So she collected that sample to look into and see if they are just flower petals or if they are actually fairy wings. Here we've got a tag with this little top on it. Some collaging there, a cluster. Seeing some dragons. That's the same waterfall that's from the cover without the fairy in the front. Got another journaling tag here and another little sample. Another journaling tag, and then here we've got this little envelope with a cute little baby paper clip there, and it just has a little journaling card inside. There's just a woman exploring a magical forest. Got a little globe here of collected plants and a journaling card. And these pockets here, we've got 2 more Polaroids and just some journaling cards. And then this is also a little pocket with a little tag. This is from another journal, nature journal, that was originally made, I think in the 1800s or early 1900s, and it has been mass produced. We got tons of little thingies in this small pocket here. We've got little potions, little tags, and little journaling cards. And this big journaling card of this fairy tree. Here we're starting to see some of this city that was made but abandoned. Another little journaling card and some little mini tags down in here. We got this nice cluster here and a journaling tag with another one of those ribbons on top. Here we have a postcard that has not been used yet, so you can use that and send a nice note to a loved one. Another tag and journaling card. Starting to see some more fantasy images as the scientists have spent more time in this forest. Creatures are starting to feel more comfortable with the people. Lots of journaling space, but never a boring space. Here we've got a couple of specimen cards. I'm not going to bother opening these. They are full of stuff. This one is full of leftover fussy cuts that you can use to decorate the journal. And this one is full of leaves and other fabric-y materials that you can also use to help decorate the journal. This here is left open, so you can feel free to store stuff in there as well. Here I made a folder with a fun little front. And then inside we've got some evidence of the fairies that we have seen. Here we've got another sample there, and then journaling tag and card. Just a little pocket with a journaling card here. A flip out for some secret writing space. Got a little, just a little journaling card and a little tag there. Some of the forest creatures. Couple more fairies. Some information on some of the creatures. Here we've got a little mini journal. Just different types of pages inside of that. For these fabric cover journals that I make, I find that it is actually helpful to put your thick, luscious tassel underneath the spine here. It helps bump it out a little bit, and by bumping that out, it makes things just sit a little bit flatter. And then when you're in the middle and you want the spine to be flat, I would just keep the tassel up above the journal. Got a little journaling card here, and another envelope, again with just a bunch of leftover pieces that you can use to add more decorations to this journal. Got a little tag here. Some earthy mulberry paper. I love this stuff, it's my favorite. Couple more fairies, and this pocket is wallpaper, so it has a really cool texture. More of the city, except this part was not abandoned, as you can see by the way that it is lit up. So the scientists have finally gotten to the heart of the forest where all the liveliness happens. Got a little pocket here with another envelope, and in this one we got a couple of tags that I made up. Just some leaf samples from the forest. Whoops. Couple more journaling cards here. That is the back of the journal, and then in here we've got this fun little see-through envelope. It just has a couple of other fussy cut pieces that were not used, but they were too big for the little envelopes. And then this is the other journal. I did not do any of the story inside of this one, so it is blank just for your use. And that is the end of this flip through. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. See you next time.